Hello, everybody. This is Sharonda, and this is my YouTube channel as well as my Spreaker podcast, Spiritual Sense. And this podcast will go over topics in regards to the paranormal, occult, and supernatural. So I speak on things such as hauntings, curses, out of body experiences, soul travel. I discuss practices such as Wiccan, witchcraft, voodoo, hoodoo, Santeria, Satanism, New Age practices such as agnosticism, atheism, to name a few. And I am going to start with my tarot card reading for today. Now, I'd like to start off by saying that this podcast, as well as this YouTube channel, is for entertainment purposes, okay? If it just so happens to coincide with your life, that may be by chance or even by happenstance. So I'm working with the Psychic Tarot deck cards today 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So this is card 1. Typically, when I get the Destiny card, it's in regards to spirits, a whole bunch of spirits or some whole bunch of different energies that is around. I show that the barrier or obstacle is patience and planning. Patience and planning. Above this situation, I have discontent and boredom. Below, I have material and spiritual prosperity. To the left, I have Sakura, chakra card, and to the right, I have balance. Balance. So right now, I do feel as though this read is in reference to many individuals who are needing a sign from God. Like you want a sign from God, you are a little fuzzy about how things are going in life or in terms of the economy, society. You know, we have the COVID and then the monkeypox. And I think many people are wanting to know, is the things that presents to me, are they real? Can I trust many of the things that I see? I see so many different things. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe. Um, I do feel as though, um, in terms of balance, you have opposing forces, as I mentioned before, unfavorable versus favorable. So you have to choose what side of the street you're going to walk on, or what um you're going to allow to be your reality. What side of uh what side are you going to be on? Are you going to be for this or are you going to be for that? And I think that is basically what this reading is applicable to right now. Rejoice and celebration. So I do show that this is a sign. God has put things before us to give us inclination as to um, who believes, who truly believes, and who do not. Like, what are your belief system? Are you more or less towards this religious group versus the next? And I think that's what is going on right now in terms of what is being presented in communications, media, internet, as such. What side are you on? Who do you believe in and who do you trust and deem to be above your situation? And I do have discontent and boredom, which is card 3, which is above the situation. What that means in relation to this reading is many people are a little bit hazy about what they truly believe. Like, I think, like I did in the last reading, where I said that because of a lot of things that people have preached and have forefronted, a lot of those spirits came against them to test them and taunt them, and now a lot of them have remained at a loss, pretty much have nothing to say in regards to what they In other words, putting your money where your mouth is, so to speak. And I think, in essence, many people are turning away from the things they once believed. I said that it was very much so in terms of the young population, but as things are going about and transpiring, you haven't, even some of your professionals are scratching their heads like, I'm at a loss. I'm truly at a loss, and could very well, a lot or many of, the naysayers or the conspiracy theories, could it very well be some truth or some revelation in these people. As I mentioned, when you begin to look at things with your spiritual eye, you will begin to see that this is God giving you revelation about when something ain't right, when something that you've been thinking was right the whole time, and you come to find that it's not. And it could there very well be some truth to a lot of the things that we laughed about, didn't really give much credence to, didn't really pay much attention to. Could it very well be that there is some truth behind the ones that we laughed at or taunted, even in our, youth, coming into your own, when you begin to gain insight and wisdom about things, you will begin to see it as such. So right now, what's physically surrounding? I have the universe card. Again, this is what many people around the world, I feel, are feeling right now, at a loss. Like, we would hear these things, we would hear one thing versus the next, and we just put it out of our minds and said that it was, foolish, crazy, or whatever the case may be, and just denounced it, just tossed it off. But now it's coming to the forefront. Now it's hitting right here in your very, right before your eyes. So what do you say in times such as that? In times such as this, where a lot of things are transpiring that we haven't seen before, in our understanding. So I was reading a report. I don't believe everything I read about polio. That it was, extravated, or I can't remember the word that was actually used, but it was done away with by way of vaccinations and such, to where there was minimal polio diagnosis to come up. So he did put in my spirit, and just the foods that we eat and such. It mentioned to me that a lot of these diagnoses are overdiagnosis for something else. Like over here, they may refer to it as this, but when you get over here, this is what they say it is. So that's basically what that means when, in terms of when we speak about misdiagnosed or overdiagnosing and things of the sort. When we are not in agreement, you will have 5 or 6 different things for the similar or same thing. And so he put this in my spirit. Will I convey this to everybody? I won't. I just keep it on the inside and keep it to myself. Because, I have the healthcare background, but I'm not medically trained to say as such. Like, I'm not a scientist, although I do have a background in training in science, but it's not at the capacity to be able to give an opinion. So I just keep it to myself. Of hopes, fears, and dreams, patience. So, in reference to, I feel like this reading is targeted towards healthcare, by the way. And as you see, I have my scrubs on or whatever. I think it is in reference to the healthcare system, the medical system right now. Um, I think they're seeing patients that they commonly had seen before, and they begin to look at it in a spiritual eye. And once you begin to do that, this is God by way of presenting to you. So I think of a time in reference to Job, to give you an example, in regards to Job and how he was inflicted with the sores. And they refer to that as leprosy, which still exists in some parts of the world. But in this time and space, or in where we are here in America, you may see some of these things, but this is those energies trying to reinforce or reintroduce itself back into this time and space, like things that have been abated are now trying to thrive and survive. So we're blaming on old diseases or old conditions and symptoms, but this is spirits coming back. And as I said before, energy doesn't die, it remanifests itself in a different form. So that's basically what it is. So when you have all these different diagnoses and things that present in this time and space that have been obliterated or abated, those are spirits. This is God letting you know by way of that those are spirits. Simple as that. And so as I have as card 1, the destiny card, as you can see, you have a genre of, of different women there. Those are spirits. Those are spirits that you are seeing by way of your patience. I have patience card here, but this is a different patience. Like this patience here is waiting. But I'm talking about actual patience. You'll begin that these spirits are manifesting itself back into this time and space. A lot of things that we have done away with and got rid of are trying to reinforce itself back into this time and this space. This is part of the agenda. This is a part of the depopulation agenda. Oddly enough. And once the eyes have been opened and you are able to spiritually see it from a different standpoint, you will understand, oh, okay, I get that. Because see, a lot of times when demonic spirits presents to us, we want to blame it on something. We may want to blame it on this, blame it on that, this, that, and the other. But that's essentially what it is. Fulfillment of wishes. This is the outcome. So the enemy's job is what? To steal, kill, and destroy. So oftentimes, and I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm going to play devil's advocate by saying that I'm not saying that you don't take note of what those spirits presents to you, or what is manifested in the physical sense of the matter in regards to your patients, in regards to your co-workers, friends, family alike, if you are able and capable of doing so. I'm not saying that you're not able, you should not, but trust and know that when you are dealing with spirituality, that's essentially what that is. So if it attacks something that's in regards to your thinking and your mind and things of that sort, we will refer to that as mental illness. But it's spiritual. If it begins to manifest by way of physical, we will put it on something medical. But that's essentially what it is. It's something spiritual or even emotionally. That's essentially what that is. Our spirits. Plain and simple. And so once you have a certain eye for things of the sort, you'll begin to understand what exactly that is. There's nothing no one has to say to you, you would know. And you can't argue with many people because they don't understand it. They don't get that inclination, like they don't, it takes wisdom, it takes being around for some time and to have been in the company with many individuals for you to see it in that sense of the matter. The biggest trick the devil ever pulled is what? Convincing the world he did not exist. That means Those are demonic spirits that are attacking you, and oftentimes are presented to you, and oftentimes when it does, you ask God to put you in a mode to shield you and protect you. So in regards to this monkeypox, I do feel as though the monkeypox is a demonic spirit. I feel as though it is a spirit um, to let us know about cleanliness, filth, and also to give us insight and clarity about some things that we may want to know in terms of history. In terms of history and how things came about and why things came about as they did. So, I mentioned on the last couple of podcasts, I said that I was so fixated and focused on Black American, African American, and African history. And do we know all of the history of our ancestors? And it put in my spirit that it was something more complex than what is being presented in textbooks. Something more spiritual. It was more spiritual than anything. And how he would use a group of people to tell on something else. And that's what the sacrifice is in regards to dealing with different cultures, dealing with different languages, and different people all over the world. It was something more spiritual that was occurring more so than anything. That's what it revealed to me. But you can't tell that to certain individuals because they will begin to get angry and get mad. See, a lot of people can't handle the truth. They don't want to know the truth. But it was something spiritual that was transpiring and it was occurring during that time. And this to give inclination and insight. So in terms of sacrifice, I do feel as though certain individuals and cultures are used to forefront a lot of the advancement in technology and medical studies and clinical trials as such in regards to how DNA to forefront a lot of the medications, the advancement and changes in medications has come into place. And this is simply what that is. Ask God for clarity and insight and understanding, and it will present to you how demonic spirits can manifest and cause abnormalities in genetics, such as DNA. And as a result of that, the product of that is what will be birthed out of that as such. And I'll give you an example as to what I'm talking about. One example could very well be, with the nuclear exposure by way of what occurred in Russia some time ago in the 80s with the Chernobyl explosion. That is to give a hallmark example as to how certain things can manifest and thwart the DNA and cause a mutation, and how the children or babies that are exposed and people that are exposed, what will happen. Well, in regards to medication, I'm not going to sit here and speak against medication because me being with the healthcare background, but in certain instances you will have the same thing. I read some reports where there's an alteration in DNA in many of the vaccinations. So is that true? So I think right now a lot of people are scratching their head, wonder, okay, so now I get what they mean when they speak of depopulation and things of the sort. I'm going to pull out 5 angel cards, and I'm just going to pull them from randomly. That's what I'm going to do. To give more inclinations. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so card 1. This is card 1. I haven't even looked at the cards. Card 1. Passion. Archangel Haniel, trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. So he wants to give you passion about this career, but we want to give you clarity and understanding about this career as well. Want to give you we don't want to run you away. We don't want to scare you and run you away from those individuals who are new to healthcare or who are still in healthcare. But we want to give you higher sensibility about what has been revealed to me. It's more than just a check. It's a learning experience apart from what you learned when you was in those classroom settings. Okay, card 2. This is card 2, life review. Archangel Jeremiel, take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. So you're going to, number 1, you want to stay in good mind, body, and spirit, because when revelation comes to you, the first thing they're going, which is by way of wisdom. Wisdom comes by experiences, whether it be favorable or unfavorable. You want to stay in good mind, body, and spirit, because when the revelation come to you, when you begin to have that life review, the first thing they want to do is what? Diagnose you or say you this, say you that, whatever the case may be. This is the enemy's biggest trick and tool, is to discredit you and what you have been, what was being revealed to you. This is card 3. Crystal clear intentions. Archangel Michael, be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. So you want to keep a clear mind. That means don't be so quick to believe everything that presents to you. Sit back and ask God for discernment. Ask him to give you good insight about what is transpiring. This is card 4. It says indigo and crystal children. Archangel Metatron, you have a bond with children, and particularly you can help children who are sensitive. So in other words, you will be like you will be able to guide people as if they're children. They will have a thirst to know your knowledge, the knowledge that you have acquired over this journey, over the course of this life experience. They will look to you as if to look to, in a sense, like a celebrity. What you know, I want to know what you know and what was revealed to you. Card 5. Take back your power, Archangel Raziel. Use your God-given power and intentions to manifest blessings in your life. So once that revelation has come to you and you get that understanding, God is going to illuminate you to people, and they will know, some things you just can't say to people. Is just you would get an insight. You would get a higher insight as to what exactly is transpiring and what exactly is going on. That's all I can say. Okay. And so I am going to close out this YouTube as well as the Spreaker podcast, speaking on my spiritual sense. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, you have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.